Welcome to the Kenya Wanam Movement, or KWM podcast. Today, we're taking a deep dive into a really crucial question, one that resonates across Kenya and honestly across much of Africa too. That question is, has Kenya truly progressed since independence?
It's a heavy question, right? Takes us right back to 1963.
Exactly. And the Kenya Wanam Movement, the KWM, they present this compelling argument. They say, okay, independence, the expulsion of foreign settlers, that was huge. A victory.
Yeah, a massive victory.
But they argue Kenya might now be facing challenges from what they actually call a new breed of elites.
Mm-hmm. A different kind of struggle, perhaps.
So our goal today, our mission, is really to unpack the KWM's perspective. What did that victory in 63 truly deliver? And, explore their insights. Has Kenya genuinely moved forward? Or is it, in some ways, just a case of replacing one set of settlers with another?
And we'll be drawing straight from the KWM's own materials here to really get a feel for their message.
Right. To help you grasp the nuances of this powerful call for change. Okay, so let's get into it. Let's unpack what the KWM sees as this central disappointment.
Right, the core feeling.
Independence was supposed to mean liberation, wasn't it? Freedom, real self-governance, a chance to build a prosperous nation for everyone.
That was the dream, the promise.
Yet, the KWM argues that decades later, you've got millions of Kenyans still grappling with struggles that feel, well, uncomfortably similar to the colonial era. They paint a pretty stark picture. For example, the roads. Roads built by the white settlers now, they say, literally crumbling from neglect.
Yeah, that's a powerful visual, isn't it? A symbol of unmet expectations, maybe.
It seems so, and it's not just roads.
No, the KWM sources definitely broaden that out.
Yeah.
They talk about the railway system, too. What's a symbol of connection, of progress, even.
And now
described as the shell of what it once was, the infrastructure just stagnant, outdated.
So this comparison they make between the colonial legacy, however problematic,
Deeply problematic, yes.
and the lack of sort of visible large-scale development since then, that's central to their argument.
It really is. And it raises that difficult question, about accountability.
Yeah.
What have the post-independence leaders built that truly serves the masses on that same scale?
And the KWM sources, they don't shy away from specifics. They ask you to picture driving through places like the Central and Rift Valleys, once agricultural heartlands.
Right. Should be thriving.
But what they describe seeing now is, well, neglect. Crumbling dirt roads, abandoned buildings, a general sense of things just not moving forward.
Stagnation.
Yeah. And they make this provocative point. They acknowledge the evils of colonialism, but say, at least the white settlers left behind something tangible.
It's a controversial framing, for sure, but it leads directly to their big question.
Which is?
What have the so-called black settlers left behind?
And their answer is pretty bleak.
It is. They point to basically personal fortunes for a few, a lot of empty promises, and what they call a broken system that benefits only a small elite.
And this connects to their wider point, doesn't it?
Absolutely. So KWM argues this isn't just Kenya's story. They see it as a pattern across Africa.
Where freedom movements were. What's the word they use?
Hijacked. That's the term they use. Hijacked by individuals more interested in personal power and wealth than in lifting up the whole population.
Which brings us squarely to the issue of inequality, the wealth gap.
Mm-hmm. And the KWM provides some, frankly, startling figures on this.
They say the gap in Kenya has widened dramatically. You have this tiny elite living in opulence,
While the vast majority, millions of people, are struggling just for basic necessities like water, food, shelter.
and they put a number on that elite group, right?
They do, a shocking one. Out of 55 million Kenyans, they identify only around 7,200 people as high net worth individuals.
Just 7,200, that's tiny.
It's incredibly concentrated. And just to clarify, when they say high net worth, they mean people with significant investable assets, far beyond what most people have.
So this extreme concentration of wealth.
Well, as economists often point out, it can really stifle broader economic growth. It limits opportunities for everyone else. And that's exactly the KWM's concern here. It paints a picture of where the nation's money is actually going, or rather, staying.
It really does paint that picture, almost like two different countries within one border.
Yeah. And the KWM sources, they're quite blunt. They argue these elites who came to power promising change.
They've essentially stolen the future. Is that too strong?
That's very much the sentiment they convey. They use examples to illustrate this, like contrasting Nairobi's skyscrapers, funded, they claim, by stolen public money.
With towns like Mandera.
Exactly, where people might lack basic clean water, decent roads, functioning schools, proper health care, things we consider fundamental.
And the KWM has a term for this contrast, doesn't it?
They do. They call it the curse of independence.
Wow.
Yeah. Freedom from the colonizers, yes, but then, as they put it, finding yourself shackled by your own leaders by corruption.
So this leads to a really crucial question they raise.
What happens when the system itself, the institutions, meant to serve the people?
Parliament, the Senate?
Right. What happens when they seem to become tools for the elite instead? The KWM talks about the shiny suits and empty promises.
You see the image, right? Politicians in expensive clothes, flashy cars, waving, smiling.
Making grand speeches about new roads, schools, hospitals.
But the KWM asks, okay, where are they? What's actually been delivered for the average person? Hospitals are struggling, teachers go unpaid, farmers can't get fair prices.
Roads are still bad.
Yeah. And the movement is quite direct here. They assert that institutions like the Senate and Parliament have become, in their view, vehicles for corruption, serving politicians, not the people.
So given this, really damning assessment.
What's the way out? That's the big question KWM tackles. What can we do about it? How do we break this cycle?
And their answer is quite radical, actually.
They say elections aren't enough.
Pretty much. They argue elections have become just a ritual, the same faces, the same cycle of hope and disappointment. It just repeats.
So if not elections, then what?
They propose something different, a revolution.
Whoa, okay, revolution.
But crucially, they stress not of violence, but of thought, a revolution of thinking, a revolution of accountability.
A revolution of accountability. That's
Right.
interesting. And the Kenya Wantam Notam movement, they believe this revolution, this solution, it really starts with you. To be part of this change, this revolution of thought and accountability, they invite you to visit www.wantamnotam.com. Right now, go there, create your account. Start sharing your own ideas that you think can help change your village, your city, your whole nation.
It's about turning that thought, that critique, into positive action.
Okay, so we've delved pretty deep into the KWM's analysis. What's the takeaway here? What does it all mean for you listening right now?
Well, the core message from the KWM is actually incredibly empowering, isn't it?
How so?
They're saying the future of Kenya, and maybe even Africa, is fundamentally in your hands.
Not just waiting for leaders, but taking ownership.
Exactly. It's a
Yeah.
direct challenge. Don't just accept things as they are. You have the power, they argue, to demand better, to actually change things.
The KWM says the time for complacency is over.
Right. The time to rise up and hold these leaders accountable is now.
And they remind you what you deserve. It's basic stuff, really.
Roads that work, schools that educate, healthcare that doesn't bankrupt you, the fundamentals that independence was supposed to secure.
It's about reclaiming that original promise, then.
Precisely. And their perspective challenges us, doesn't it? To think beyond just voting every few years.
How so?
Well, it encourages a deeper engagement. Constant engagement, really, with accountability, asking tough questions, demanding answers, not just being passive recipients.
So shifting the responsibility.
Yes, from just being on the leaders to recognizing the collective power that people have when they think critically and act together.
And they leave you with a final, pretty pointed question.
They do. It's provocative. They ask you directly. Will you continue to let these corrupt leaders steal from you, or will you rise up and demand change?
It boils down to a choice.
Yeah. The question, they say, ultimately is, what will you do with the power you have?
And their belief is firm on this.
Absolutely. The KWM believes that the curse of independence doesn't have to be your reality. You can break the cycle. You can demand and build a better future for yourself and for your children.
Wow. Okay. This deep dive into the Kenya Wantam Notam movement's message, it really does underscore the power each person has, doesn't it? To shape where things go.
It really does. It's all about taking that ownership, demanding that accountability, and working together to build the future you want to see.
Remember, your ideas matter. Your voice counts. To join this movement, to be part of making that difference, the place to go is www.wantamnotam.com.
That's wantamnotam.com.
Create your account today. Share your ideas for change, big or small, for your village, your city, your nation. Thank you for listening to the Kenya Wantam Notam Movement KWM podcast.